Peace and blessings, everybody. Welcome back to the Humble Servants Homestead, guys. Today, I am out here in the top garden because watching the weather, we're looking and slated to be down into the freezing degree temps finally. This coming Thursday night, going into Friday morning. And today is Tuesday, so we have so many things that we need to hurry and gather. And so today, I'm going to do something that I've been putting off doing for the last almost 3 weeks. Today I'm out here in the garden to harvest this right here. Now, in case you have not guessed what that is cilantro. Now, I know some people might say, oh, I don't like cilantro. Oh, the taste is overpowering. Or when you think cilantro, you think of guacamole. This is not going to be for guacamole. This is going to be for something that is maybe totally not on anybody's radar that's growing cilantro, but my goal and my hope is that after today's video, you explore other options for the cilantro that you're growing. Now, typically we try to grow cilantro twice a year. It tends to do very well for us around this time when it's not too hot, not too cool, so we get a good abundance of our cilantro now. We also grow cilantro in the springtime. But springtime, we sell our cilantro. This time of year, we gather most of it for ourselves, and I'm going to tell you why. And I'm actually going to show you why. Okay, so stay tuned for that. But I'm out here gathering this cilantro, guys, because it's loaded with tons of benefits and things of that nature. But the main reason why I gather it at this time of year is to make supplements. Cilantro is a heavy metal detoxer for the body. Let's say that again, a heavy metal detox for the body. Now, this time of year is when I typically take my family on a detox regimen. We try and detox ourselves twice a year, fall being one time of the year, and then spring is also the second time of year. So cilantro is grown here on our homestead so that we could detox our bodies, especially from heavy metals. So, guys, let me get to harvesting on this cilantro, okay? And then we'll be right back to talk about it. And I mean, it is overgrown. I just let it grow. And it smells so fragrant. It's so fragrant. But that's all I'm going to do. I'm just going to snip, and clip. And of course, it'll continue to grow. See? And for some of you that might say, oh, the smell is so overpowering. The smell, I can't get over the smell. When you take and dehydrate cilantro and you dry it out, the smell is mainly inside of the juice of the leaves. And by that I mean the fresher the leaf, the more fragrant it'll smell and taste. But as you dry these out, it loses that flavor. And so you'll still get the benefits of the cilantro, just not that overpowering flavor. So kind of keep that in mind, okay? But let me finish harvesting the cilantro, and then we'll come right back to talk about it. And I'm harvesting mainly the longer leaves because I do want the crown of the cilantro to continue growing. So I'm trying my hardest not to cut the crown of the cilantro, if that makes sense. And as you can see, I have tons of onions out here as well that I need to come and harvest, so that may be on the horizon tomorrow. And we are dehydrating leaves and and stems. So and there we have it, guys. Let me see if I can get a little bit more. Oh, it smells so lovely. Okay, guys, and so there we go. A nice size bowl to start with. I may try and collect some more. We'll kind of see how this washes and dehydrates down, and we'll go from there. But stay tuned, guys. And so we are inside the house, and we're going to get our herbs nice and washed, and then that way we can get them on our dehydrator trays and into our dehydrator, okay, where they will dehydrate overnight. So let's fill up our sink with some cold water. And that's just to give these a nice little rinse. Rinse. And again, we are using the leaves and the little stems. We're using it all, the whole part of the cilantro. Okay. And if you can smell the freshness coming off of these herbs. I love me some cilantro. I actually eat cilantro leaves as greens on my sandwiches and burgers and things of that nature. So when I do not have kale readily available, but I have cilantro available, I'll actually just eat cilantro greens on my burger. That's how much I love cilantro. Some people may find that flavor overpowering, but I find it to be amazing, especially in some guacamole. I love some guacamole that's loaded with cilantro or cilantro rice. I find any little reason or recipe to add cilantro. Ma'am, bye. Thank you. I find any little reason or recipe to add some cilantro to something. So I'm not one of those people that loathes the taste of cilantro. I love it. And like I said, doing it this way, dehydrating the cilantro will actually mellow down the flavor. It's not as pungent as it is in this state. So what we're going to do now is give our bowl a little rinse as well. And then as we wash the herbs, we'll put them back in here for now. Okay. Agitate that, and we'll just continue to turn these back to our clean bowl. To our clean bowl. We'll get this water drained, and we'll give them another rinse. And again, the greens, cilantro greens, weren't dirty at all. It's just to remove any dust or debris or any bugs that could be lurking in the leaves as well. Okay? So we'll fill the sink up again with cold water and give them another little rinse. As that's running, we'll start to add our greens back into the sink. And start to agitate them again. and drain, and then that way we'll just pour the rest of the water off. Okay, so we'll let those sit there for a little brief break or a couple minutes, and then we'll be right back. It has been a few minutes for this, and so I'm going to just pour the water that has gathered to the bottom off of here and start to put them onto our dehydrated trays now. I have about 6 trays here because I also picked some wormwood from outside, and so I will be giving this wormwood a wash as well, and it will be joining the cilantro in the dehydrator this time around. But I want you to stay tuned for that as well, so that you can see what I actually do with the wormwood. But as far as the cilantro goes, we're just going to pour that water out here and start to place it onto our dehydrator sheets. Now these are herbs, they're really lightweight, and I find that air does pass through them and make them all dry just fine. So I actually tend to pile up my trays and then just leave a gap in between each tray as I layer it into the dehydrator. So all of this may just go on 2 trays. And by overstack my tray, this is what I mean, because again, this is lightweight herbs, and the air in the dehydrator is still going to circulate between all of it. So this is 1 tray. Put that to the side, and then just put everything else on our 2nd tray. And there we have it. 2 trays of herbs going into our dehydrator. Now I have to look at the setting to see. I'll have to look at the setting on the dehydrator to see, but I think herbs are either 125 or 135. I'll put that on the screen when I confirm which one. But yeah, these are going to go into the dehydrator overnight, and I'll see you guys back in the morning to move along to the next step. We are over here at the dehydrator, and as you can see, herbs and living foods are between 95 and 105 degrees Fahrenheit. So I have my temp set at 95 and timer is going. So this is our cilantro, and so we'll be back in the morning, guys, when it's all dried. Stay tuned. Okay, you guys, and so it is morning. Our cilantro is dried, and look at our wormwood as well. But our cilantro is dry, so we're going to get this out of here, okay? Okay, you guys, and so here is our cilantro. And as you can see, the trays have dehydrated down very nicely. I'll show you both of them. And this is why I pile them high, because the when the moisture is gone from them, they dehydrate down to a significantly less amount of leaves. So and even the smell, there is no smell at this point. Now let's talk about a couple of items that I do have here. So our next step is going to be to grind these cilantro up into a fine little powder. Okay, so I have my Ninja blender here, which is what I'm going to use to blend in batches. I also have a bowl here and a sieve, because we're going to sieve the powder as it comes out of the blender. So let's get started, shall we? And what I actually went ahead and did is went and got another bowl. So I'll take the cilantro first and just put it in this bowl here and do like a pre-crunch on it first, just to kind of compact it on down. Okay, move that into the side. Same thing here. And that way it'll give me a better handle on the cilantro. And I'm just taking and kind of giving it a pre-crunch. And that'll give me a better handle as I add it into our blender to compact down. Okay, so now let's get that into the blender. And we're going to do this in batches. Let's get the first batch blended. And there we have it, a nice fine powder. Get this batch out of here and into our sieve, and then we'll refill for another round. There we go. And just get all of our little stragglers that have fallen into our blender cup. And give this a round as well. And I'll bring you closer so you can see. And that is it for grinding it into the powder. Now let us get to the next step, which is giving it a shake through the sieve. See that fine powder? That's what we want. And what we'll actually do with everything else that didn't go, we're going to put this back in our blender cup and give it another swirl. Most times that's those stems and things of that nature that might take a second round to blend down finely. And we're going to give that a sieve as well. And what I will tell you, everything that doesn't blend down finely this time could actually go to the side, and we'll use that as seasoning blend. So now we have our fine powder and we have our seasoning blend. So we'll put this fine powder and this seasoning blend back into this bowl and put this to the side, okay? And now I'm going to show you, now that we have our cilantro powder, I'm going to show you how I actually store this, okay? So we're going to store this for the time being, and then later on today we're going to do part 2 of this video where I show you what I actually do with this. But hold on, let's get our station together and I'll be right back. Guys, so now let's talk about storing our cilantro powder. Now that we have it all processed into our powder form, now we have to store this, right? I found these awesome lid for my ball mason jars. I found that these were very cheap. I got them at the Dollar Tree, which was a phenomenal find because I only paid $1.25 for these at the Dollar Tree. So search your local Dollar Trees. I'm not sure if all of them carry these or not, but these were an awesome find. This allows me to be able to place a seal on some of my dry stored items without having to use my canning lids. So if you're looking for a way to store dry goods, these don't work for wet goods or for canning, but if you're looking for a way to put some dry goods sealed tight on your shelves, then these would be a great option and find for you. So today we're going to use one of these lids and a mason jar to store our green cilantro powder for the time being. So I'm just going to take a spoon and just ladle this right into this jar. Uh-oh. And I should have been using a funnel to just make sure that I don't waste any, which I just did, but that's okay. That's okay. And that's it right there. Straight and simple cilantro powder. Now, that's it. And we're gonna put a lid on. And I think I got about 6 of these boxes because I was trying to be considerate of the next person that would have come behind me, but I've since then gone to about 6 different Dollar Trees and have not been able to find them, so I should have grabbed all the lids that were on the shelf. Silly me. Don't make the same mistake. If you find them, grab all you can. But that's it. We're just going to put this lid on just like that. Make sure I label the jar, or you label your jar, and that's it. Cilantro powder, guys. So I hope this video was informational and informative to you, and I hope it showed you how easy it is to store not only cilantro but other herbs in your garden as well. So I tend to do the same thing with a lot of my greens that I grow in the garden. So I powder cilantro, but I also powder broccoli leaves. I also powder spinach. I powder kale. And sweet potato leaves. Believe it or not, I had tons of sweet potato leaves from last year, so I didn't do any this year. But a lot of my greens that are in the garden, this is the process that I go through to store those greens, okay? And in winter months when there isn't much growing outside, I could add those by the tablespoonful to either smoothies or other dishes, soups and things of that nature, to still give us the nutrition that we need without having to have the fresh greens. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, I hope you guys found this video informational, easy to follow along with. If you're trying this process at home and you see that it works for you, if you guys could let me know that in the description box. But other than that, stay tuned for the next video that should be coming up very soon, where I show you exactly what I do with this cilantro powder, okay? Peace and blessings to you guys. Have a blessed day.